Hey, good evening. It's PopPop again. Double feature time on Thursday night. Welcome to PopPop's LitRPG world. The second feature tonight, S.L. Rowland, the mighty, I have to say it, the author, Steve Rowland. Can't help it. It has to be done for the audience, the appropriate audience. Cozy fantasy author, lit RPG, does both. Steve, good night. How are you?
Okay. I'm good. Great to be here.
Two Steves tonight, but I'm Pop Up. No,
Yeah,
what is going on with your world? I see you have a plushie behind you there. Why don't we talk about your plushie?
I do. Actually, this thing tomorrow is the last day you can grab it. Oh, here's the camera. It's
Limited editions? Oh my
yeah,
God. How can you do that? How do
they
people
only
do that for the last day?
they only do it pre-order. So it's through U2's, which is a company. They do a lot of plushies for like World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings, Avatar: The Last Airbender, like all kinds of like awesome stuff. And so if you go to their website or you go to my website and you can find a link because it's got about 24 hours left, and it's only available as pre-order. So once that closes, I don't think you'll be able to get it
It becomes
again.
a limited item.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go and do that. And look at that. Wilkie just went over from one to the other one. So he just came right over to my interview. He was here with my 8 o'clock with Josh Reddo. So he's
Nice.
he's he's in and he's going to ask all the questions. So I get to do the non-heavy lifting again. So your most recent book is now. Let me ask you this: You've done with RPG, Sentence to Troll, as is your I don't know your signal lit RPG series. You've done tons of cozy. Is it Here There Be Dragons? Is that Are you moving towards grand fantasy or is it still just regular cozy?
It's still
The cover
cozy.
looks really fantasy-ish.
Yeah, I mean, so with the Tales of Adria world, my goal was to create this epic world and then fill it with small scale stories. So it's an epic, setting. We just stay very close to the characters, and keep it a little more personal with each book.
So Wilkie's going to punish me for making those comments, and he's only going to offer one question for us today. Do you have a horror cozy out there?
I am working on one right now.
Is that the
Uh,
fourth? Is that the two chapter one up on
yes, the one I'm
Patreon?
currently posting to my Patreon. So I'm trying to pull off a cozy horror.
Has
Um,
that been done before successfully?
oh, I think T Kingfisher. She's probably the closest
Yeah.
one. Her stuff kind of blends horror with cozy, but I think probably leans a little more into the horror aspects.
She
Whereas
does.
I'm going to try to lean more into the cozy aspects, and basically, I want to pull off something that is like, it's kind of like reading a Tim Burton book. A little
Fair
creepy,
enough.
but still fun.
And how now I know with Patreons you have certain promises to make or certain schedules to keep. Are you doing that like full bore or are you taking your time to do it correctly?
I mean, I'm a full time author, so I'm always working on something, and so as I have the chapters ready, I post them up there. I send them to my alpha reader beforehand, so like she'll pick out any like glaring errors, and then once that's done, there's still rough draft chapters that go up on Patreon, but they're kind of it's where I envision the story going. Things might change once I finish and like go through my edits and stuff. But generally it's kind of pretty close to how it ends up.
So Wilkie also says he's happy that you continued your dwarves journey.
Oh yeah.
So with this new book or new, is it going to be a series now? How many books are going to be on this journey,
Oh,
or is it just that?
they're all as of right now, they're all standalones. So, I just as long as I have stories to keep telling, I'll keep writing them. I do have
Just within
plans.
the world of Edra.
Yeah, I have plans for like other spin-off series that are maybe not as cozy, like, more epic or, different versions of fantasy that I might want to tell. But I think at least I got a few more cozies in me before I start branching out.
What about returning
Returning to what
lit
lit
RPG?
RPG. Well, I'm actually working on a lit RPG also. So right now, it's my first time trying to work on like two projects at once. So back in 2020, I wrote a little novella called Path to Villainy.
Mhm.
And a couple of years ago, it got a little popular on TikTok, and I had a lot of people asking me, was I going to write book two? And since it's a novella, I didn't really want to do like a series of novellas, so I decided to kind of rework it and just expand it into like a full length novel that's maybe 2 to 3 or more times longer than the original, and kind of just continue the story that way.
That's the way to do it. There you go. You have something pre-made, or at least a start, and you can
Yeah,
just expand and go from there.
yeah. I'm going back through. So like Monday through Friday, like my main focus is on my cozy stuff. On the weekends, if I have the energy, I'm going through and working on the Path to Villainy. Right now, I'm rewriting each chapter so that it matches my current author voice versus what it was 6 years ago. Just so that once I
Yeah,
do
that's true.
get into
Yeah,
that new content, it'll flow a little smoother.
I talked about the same issue with James Hunter because he's going back to a couple of his older series. It's like, how do you match that? Because you change over time in all
Yeah.
aspects. Um, so you don't only write, you are really involved in social champion causes as well. How do you find all that time? As you said, Monday to Friday, you're doing your cozy stuff. And if you survive, you'll do a little bit more. How do you find the time and the energy to get involved in all the other stuff that you do?
Well, so the secret is that I have ADHD, and so my writing time often takes a backseat to all these other things that distract me during the
Yeah,
day.
that I know that feeling.
Uh, so yeah, the business side of things. Anytime it's almost like if I see anything that I can do other than write, it kind of just draws me away because I don't have to like sit down and stay focused. But yeah, I mean, I like to support causes that are important to me. Like the big one I'm doing right now is for the Walk to Cure Arthritis, for the Arthritis Foundation, because I have an autoimmune disease, which is inflammatory arthritis, and I've been dealing with the effects of that for like about 8 years now. I've been diagnosed for four. But yeah, whatever I can do to kind of raise awareness for that. So I'm doing a fundraiser. I think we've raised 2,200 or 2,300 so far, and it's in May. And I'm also doing a raffle of some signed books to kind of every like $5 that someone donates is like an entry into the raffle.
I thought that'll be cool. That's an incentive to do it.
Yeah.
One thing you'll if you look on Facebook at all and on the RPG cycles, Ben Wolf goes crazy all throughout the upper Midwest.
Yeah.
a ton of shows. He is constantly hitting up cons and shows to no, I don't want to say hawk his wares, but to sell his product. So you go to some cons in the Midwest as well. Is that something you do on a regular basis, or do you keep that just very limited? How's your con structure?
Um,
That's how
so
we get into.
I mostly I do like, a few big conventions a year. Like this year I'm doing Jordan Con for the first time. Last year I did LitRPG Con and Dragon Con and Enchanticon. Um, so those are usually, if it's anywhere that's kind of like far enough to where I have to like drive quite a ways or fly, I try to make sure it's a multi-day thing. Um, I do a few events here and there, like within 2 to 3 hours of St. Louis, at like bookstores or wherever, to like sign books or bookish events and whatnot. But I don't do it as much as Ben Wolf does. He has it's really cool because like he's forged his own path of making a living and doing things in a bit of a different way than most of the authors I know, and happy that it is working for him. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
all over the place.
I don't have the energy to be at an event every weekend.
He does, and we all know that he does because he gets it out there for all of us to see, and he's going to be there too. So you are going, as you said, to Jordan Con for the first time.
Yes.
Now, the lit RPG component at Jordan Con is not a primary function of the con. This year they're going to have Brandon Sanderson, so that's going to be like Matt last year
Yeah.
at RPG Con. You're going to have 4.7 million people descend upon Atlanta just to see Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, for sure.
So how are you appearing at Jordan Con? What track, as they call them, what track are you doing at Jordan Con?
I mean, so I was invited, I think as from the Lit RPG track,
Okay.
but I guess they haven't released their programming yet. So like they know that I write cozy fantasy as well. So I'm not sure where exactly I'll end up once the panels and things finalized. But I'm just excited to check it out, and I've heard a lot of great things. It'd be fun to meet some readers, and it's always nice to reconnect with other authors and people that I know.
I'm being dragged up there. Reckwell talked me into going up,
Yeah.
and I'm not spending a ton of money. I'm going to be couch surfing somewhere. Um, when he first heard the fact that I was going to sleep on a city bench or in my car, he was having none of that. So he went up and made arrangements for PopPop. I have no problem sleeping in a car. It's cheaper than playing a hotel room. That's
Yeah.
just my humble opinion. So I'll see you in a month up
Yeah.
in Atlanta. It's getting really close. April 17th to April 19th in Atlanta, Jordan Con. Brandon Sanderson is the big draw this year. Geneva is the head of the Lit RPG track at Jordan Con. So that's going to be fun. Now, you are a featured guest at everybody's favorite, at least in our genre, Lit RPG Con. So you indicated that last year you were a panelist. Now you're going to be a featured guest. You know what that means? You may be in the Colorado room on Saturday morning, which was like the place to be last year.
Okay.
So that you're gonna have different expectations. But if you've paid attention, have you been watching the people that are coming this year?
Yeah, I've been seeing all the posts of.
I mean,
it seems like a lot more than last year.
The head of Bain Books. one of the high muckety mucks of Kickstarter. Um, a whole slew of narrators now, and just different courses of people, different levels of people. I guess they were like, we're going to see how this goes. And now that they missed out on the success of the first year, they don't want to miss out. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, last year was amazing. Like one of the best cons I've been to, and for it to be its first year and to go that smooth, I'm super excited to see what happens this year.
Now, did you ever get the proper photo credit on Matt Dinneman's website? There's your dog.
Uh,
Your dog
uh,
just wandered in.
yeah, there he is. Yeah, it's about his time to go on his nightly walk. So it's like clockwork. He'll start pacing around the apartment.
Dogs do that.
Yeah,
Duke will come up and he'll like jump up onto a bed and he'll just sit there and stare at me. It's like, I gotta go now.
yeah.
So, but on Matt Dinneman's website for the LitRPG Con, whatever whatever he did last year, is the picture of Matt and me, and he's in the gerbil outfit
Oh, yeah.
that you took those two photos of. So I was telling Rue, who made the website, you have to give Steve the credit because he took the picture.
Yeah, did they? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably, if there's a way to comment it, I'll have them do it. But go up to the website, look for the towards the bottom. It's there. But I would demand it. I would go up and demand it. I mean, it's on my camera, so I mean, I have physical evidence and physical possession of it. But I'm like, I didn't take that picture. It's not me. And yes, Emily, and Geneva are amazing. That is true. Well, who else would it be, Dennis? I told you ahead of time. He was also there.
Nice, yeah.
At the 8 o'clock episode.
So I got with Dennis on TikTok before.
Oh, Dennis is getting to be a champ at those videos on TikTok. Much better than PopPop. I can't do this handy book thing.
You just gotta practice.
He's a master of special effects and whatnot. And his phrase is, "Hey, party people," whatever he says. Whatever. We always pick on each other. So that's a good thing. So you write, you do social activities, you walk your dog, you feed your dog. What book or books are you reading in or out of genre right now for pleasure?
So I generally have one ebook that I'm reading and one audiobook. So I just finished up Discount Dan, the first one of that, which that was a fun read. I listened to that one in audio, which was
oh, come on, Steve Campbell, come on.
Yeah, his croc was hilarious. And then in ebook, I just finished Tress in the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. So I'll have read some
getting
of
ready for it. Oh God, yeah. I don't know if I can break myself down to do it because I kind of like I've never read anything by Brandon Sanderson.
I have a few of his books on my shelf, like the special editions he did on Kickstarter. I hadn't gotten around to reading them, so I finally cracked that one open.
Do you really want to crack open the special editions that you spend a crap ton of money on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll look through them for the photos and everything. I read it on the ebook, but yeah, they're really gorgeous. They have a lot of illustrations inside, and you gotta appreciate them if you're gonna spend that much money on them.
That's a true point. So just to let you know that Discount Dan, the series, gets even better.
Yeah.
Cul-de-sac Carnage, it's great. There's a kaiju battle you're gonna love, and I'm sure that Steve Campbell does it justice. And book 3 is Kiosk Kingdom, which I'm currently reading on an arc. It's gonna be better. It's even better. He just continues to improve. And my joke is, the big evil guys on the 999th floor, which means James has to write 999 books in the series.
Yeah. But This one it's a little different than Dungeon Crawler Carl in that they don't have to go from one floor to the next. They can skip them, can't they?
All over the place. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's not, and they haven't destroyed the entire world.
yeah.
So that's a good thing as well. So we have a question. Can we see our twig friend in another cozy book? I have no context, so answer the
Uh,
question.
I think he's talking about Splinter, the little twig golem from the Halfling's Harvest. He's
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's one of my cozy fantasies, but yeah, he's a minor little character, but at the moment I don't have any plans for him, but you never know when
You know,
someone might show up again.
characters do have a tendency to live their own life
Yeah,
and to get away from the authors.
that is true.
Happens all the time. Has that ever happened to any of your quote unquote side characters or throwaway characters? Has that happened to someone?
Yes. So when I was writing Cursed Cocktails, there was one scene where I had an adventurer come into the tavern, and the whole point of it was just kind of to show that this is a living, breathing city that a lot of people are just passing through, and he was on his way to go on a quest, and he only appeared in one chapter, and then after I finished Cursed Cocktails, I realized that he wanted his own book, and then that became Sword and Thistle.
Oh wow, there you go. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, that's getting away from the initial meaning of a character, and I guess it just does happen.
yeah. You
Again,
just gotta
I'm getting
gotta
used to the
follow.
concept, which being a consumer, it doesn't happen in my brain.
Yeah,
So I just get to enjoy everything that everyone else writes. So that is the best part of being the reader. Um, any other questions, Dennis? Do you have any questions? Cat's here. She's just lurking. She's really good at lurking.
uh,
But she did promise. She did say that if she got home in time, she'd pop in to see you. So she lived up to that word as a good thing. Um, so when you come down to Jordan Con or over at LitRPG Con, you're going to have a booth, or you don't know yet.
I think I'll be sharing a table, because I know Paul from the Dungeon Meetup.
Yep.
He sells all those little earrings and like engraved coasters and stuff like that. Last year, I shared a corner of his little booth, and sold some of my books. And I had an opportunity to get a table at Jordan Con, but they had a limited availability. So I decided to let someone else have one, and I would, kind of
Hang
pack
on
up
a
and
corner.
get a little corner of his. And
Um, Kat wants to know if we're going to bring the stuffy to the RPG Con. By that point, the stuffy is going to be an exceptionally valuable creation. He might not
well,
want to do that.
so they won't be shipping out until August. So I'll have this one. I always keep him on my table as like a little display piece, but I won't have any like available for sale. I did order an extra 15 like for my personal stock so that I can use them for like, charity giveaways and things like that, when I donate a book or something. But aside from that, they're not going to be any more available unless you order them.
He's persistent.
Yeah, he knows his time.
Dogs rule. Humans drool.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
See, now he's gonna start doing this little wild, shaking his head and trying to get some attention.
So you're he's not a Tuckerization. Your character over DCC. Did you like what Matt did with him?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't actually when I told him to use my name, I didn't expect that he would actually do it. So it was a nice surprise. But I am a fan of Dungeon Crawler Carl, so I kind of, you know, it's kind of like if my name was Tom Bombadil and I showed up in Lord of the Rings. It's kind of how I feel about it.
So, and now the T-shirt that exists, that's on your website.
Yes. So I had the idea for the T-shirt, and I printed off a couple and gave one to Matt at DragonCon last year. He wore it to the Dungeon Crawler Carl meetup, where all the cosplayers were, and a lot of people were asking, where could they get one? So I asked him if I could sell it on my website. He said yes, and so we
Oh,
got
you have the blessing.
we got two versions up there. So I guess people like to troll me a lot for the my appearance in there. So I guess it's my little
Oh, come on! It's the perfect troll. It's like the best thing ever.
yeah.
You're just a step below Princess Donut.
Uh-huh.
And book 8 comes out in a couple months. Can't wait.
Yeah, I've already read the advanced copy.
No, I don't do that. I don't do if I'm on a Patreon, I don't even bother. I don't read advanced chapters. I want to sit down with a completed project.
Yeah, this was my first. I've been a member of his Patreon for a while. This is the first time that I've read them as they were released, and it was a pretty cool experience because you get to see how he changes stuff and where he takes audience feedback and things like that.
I was going to say, and you get to see when he decides to do a poll, you'll get to participate in the poll, and that creates the book as well.
But
I think he's a master at managing his Patreon as well.
Yeah, it's chaos over there now. Like, an hour after the chapter is up, there'll be hundreds of comments and
cursing and gnashing of teeth, from what I understand.
Sometimes, yeah.
So, is it worth the wait? Is it going to be awesome saucy?
Yeah, it has a pretty. It's a fun level, and it has a pretty epic conclusion.
That's all you get to say. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first time I've had any sort of input into the Parade of Horribles.
Yeah, it's creepy at parts. You definitely see some of Matt's horror writing skills, but it's.
Well, we already know that's been handled with Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon,
I haven't read that one yet.
And there's that, and then there's also there's another one, but I can't remember the name of the other component that's horror.
I think the grinding.
The grinding.
That was like one of his first ones.
So those are out there. So we know that he can do it. And you do have fans of the shirt. And we're not going to make those comments. We're going to keep this clean cat. And go from there. And pre-order, she did just went and looked all over your website to see what she can find and buy. And I'm getting tired. PopPop this is my third night of interviews in a row.
Oh man, it's crazy. They take a lot of energy. At least for me.
I reckon PopPop with James Hunter on Tuesday. Last night, I had a Royal Road fiction writer that turned into a 2.5-hour ramble with a whole bunch of people from Discord and Royal Road come over and ask questions and just chat and talk.
Oh wow.
That was long. And now I have 2 here. Order people. We're fine. Oh, order. That's me saying promote. So yes, order from Steve. So is that like a nice little? Do you have an income stream in that, or do you have to maintain that as like a lost leader? I don't know how that functions.
For what
your plushie? Merch? Yeah, not only the plushie, but all your shirts and what other merch you have up on the website.
Oh no, it all turns a profit. Like, I mean, I pay for my website, the hosting and whatnot, but the shop aspect of it is free. I use an integration called Fourth Wall, which is a storefront that was like developed for streamers to make merch of their stuff. So like I upload the designs and whatnot, and then I'm able to like sort out the pricing, and it's also very cool because it allows me to sell signed copies of my books, and um, I can sell other things that aren't a part of their catalog, which is cool.
And that's called Fourth Wall.
Yeah, fourth wall, very very big with like streamers on Twitch and things like that.
Yeah, they need places. They don't have anything physical going on, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's nice because fourth wall serves as like the merchant of record, so they handle all the taxes and everything for the payments that come in, and you just treat it as royalties. So it makes
Oh,
it
cool.
extremely easy, for any author who's like afraid to start a merch store.
A business.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
My dad would always say, just because you're a good lawyer doesn't mean you're a good businessman. So
Yeah,
just because you're a good author, you're not a good businessman potentially. So that's why you have your tax people to do all that kind of fun stuff.
yeah,
Um, so that's pretty cool. And we're building up. We love our interviews. So that's fine. I'm just pop up. I'm me. Um, I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. We got another photo opportunity. I wonder if we can get Brandon Sanderson to put on a gerbil costume and
uh,
pose next to me and have you take the photo, and it could become a thing. I think security would probably remove me
they might, but
at
you
that
never
point.
know unless you ask.
That's right. And I did apply for to be a media guest there. And I checked in with Geneva, and she's like, I don't know anybody there on that side of the things, but all I know is they're really last minute.
Okay, well,
So
good
I
luck.
think that might be for you as well. That Emily and Geneva are not last minute.
Yeah,
They are
they're on the ball.
methodical and number crunching every day as we move forward between now and July. They won't leave anything to chance. Um, any other questions? Yep, there you go. So that'll spread the word. Um, Now your pup needs to go. Do you want to go and take care of everything there? Do you want to keep? Do you have anything specific that you want to talk about? That you want to get out into the world
Um,
while you have an opportunity?
well, yeah, I just found out that my special editions that I launched on Kickstarter last year, they are in production now. So the here's the sample of one of
They
them.
are beautiful.
They're gorgeous. Got Curse Cocktails, the Halfling's Harvest, and Sword and Thistle. They're all foiled with the faux leathers.
Wow.
Foiled. Yeah, the spines are sprayed and foiled. But the late pledge store for that will be closing in about a month, once they're
Good.
shipped out of China. So it'll take
Everything
about,
gets shipped out of China. Even my shirts get shipped out of China.
yeah, well,
Um,
it'll be about 2 months or so for them to travel across the oceans. We're expecting to begin fulfillment in June. So I hope to have some of these available at LitRPG Con. But if you want to get them beforehand, hop on the late backer store while you still can.
I have my email just waiting for next Friday. So I can actually click it, and you don't have to keep bugging me every once in a while. Pay up, buddy. So I'll get all paid up. And I mean, I've already, went all in with uh, Matt on his books 2 and 3, as well as the Croc, the Brett Bean
Yeah, Matt is
graphic
taking
novel,
everyone's money.
everything. Yeah, he is. Yeah, constantly. But even Primal Hunter, even Athon or Vault has the Primal Hunter um, series as well. So in an appropriate situation, I give it. I can't. I don't do every single one. Yours I did. I just have to pay it. There's one that just came out last night, and I have the email. I'll have to go and look what that is. So there are certain because they look good up there, and
Oh yeah,
you can see Matt up there, and that's why I bought them because they're like so bright and shiny, and that's what sucked me into the genre.
yeah. There's a lot of special editions out there. I can't afford to do them all, but
No,
I do a lot of them.
no, people should give them to me. I'm kidding. No, no,
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm not Dennis. Yeah, he don't know what that means, and people will get out that I picked on him again because he probably isn't even here anymore because he's not said a word. That I get in trouble. So, anything else that you need to get out? Because I'm here for authors and fans.
Uh, well, so we just released the audiobook for There Be Dragons Here like a week or two ago. So that one
And
is
who's
pretty
doing that? Who is the
uh
voice?
dual narration of Eric Martin and Jessica Threet. Um,
Jessica
she,
is so cool, and she does her live narrations, and
yeah,
she just so
she's
gets
so
into it.
talented. She did an absolutely amazing job with this one.
And
Eric,
that's on.
he's been a part of all four, but they started doing the dual narration with the Halfling's Harvest. So I'm trying to. I'm more mindful of my characters to try and have a nice balance of female characters for her as well. Um,
Oh, so you're starting to write with narration in mind, oh,
I
as
mean,
you move.
I've always written with narration in mind because I've worked with Eric since Sinister Troll, and so like I always kind of take account, especially with like the stats and stuff, like how's that going to be read. Um, And the first two Tales of Adria books featured a male main character. So he just did those as normal. But the Halfling's Harvest featured a female main character and majority of female side characters. So I wasn't sure that I should have him, just doing an almost all like female cast.
I think it's
So
kind of yeah, and I don't can that might be limited as to who can really pull off that
yeah,
that
I mean,
switch.
I think a lot of male narrators, they have a number of female voices they can do, but it's not as expansive as the male voices that they can do. And so, uh, I asked him about doing a dual narration, and he was up to it, and it worked really well. And so, the main characters of There Be Dragons Here ended up being female as well. Like I didn't like, you know, make them female just for Jessica, but I was kind of mindful of that.
Did
And
you so so this is and again it's not the first one that Jessica did, so you already knew what she's like. You already had experience of how she works within your universe.
yes,
So
yeah, she did the Halfling's Harvest, and I got to hear her sing in the book, which that was really cool. Because she's like a classically trained singer. Yeah, super talented.
we do have another question, so we're gonna, the doggo is gonna have to bear.
If I could write with any other author for any
Who, who,
cozy, which
who
people
would you
would I
do it
want
with?
to?
Who do you want to write with, if you
Oh,
could, hypothetically speaking?
that is tough. Man, I don't know. Travis Baldree is the one who really got me into cozy fantasy, and kind of inspired Curse Cocktails, and in a lot of ways is responsible for the way my career has evolved. So that would be cool. I mean, I think Matt Dinneman is a fantastic author. I would love to see, just how his brain works behind the scenes. Um, I'm hoping I've got a few. I'm talking with someone tomorrow about a potential co-writing project uh, that won't necessarily be cozy fantasy, but I'm excited about that. I can't share too much at the moment, but
Cool. Well, there'll be more. Pay attention to, stay tuned on SL Rowland's main website and Patreon and find out all this fun stuff. So we are going to wrap up tonight because we have a dog that has to get walked and or fed. And where is that? Come here. Yep, not going to do
There
it.
we go. There he is.
That side. Yep. So where's the calendar? Show them your dog, and then show them is the calendar within reach or not?
Oh yeah.
So there you go. See, I walked through Epcot and went into the Japanese pavilion, saw that, and I'm like, oh, no brainer.
It's awesome.
That's got to go to Steve.
I think I was there like a week after you, or a week before.
Yeah, you were. I mean, I know that you came down. I know Gary tried to see you, I guess, but you weren't able to swing it.
Yeah, we usually try to come down there at least once a year because my girlfriend has family there. So
let us know. Well, I mean, literally, it's 45 minutes for us. We're a little bit farther away. We're far enough away from Orlando and Tampa that we can survive. So thank you so much for fitting me in. I know it's very difficult to do with everything that you're doing and everything that we're trying to do before JordanCon. I have no idea how we're going to get interviews in for between now and LitRPG Con. I think, Rec and I have to sit down with Geneva and say, what the hell? and share the wealth or share the pain. With all the interviews to try to get the action going again. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
PopPop is going to go and eat something and walk his dogs as well because Thelma and Duncan have to get taken care of. So we will see you in about a month at JordanCon and for 4 months at LitRPG Con.
Yeah.
We can find Steve on his Patreon, on Facebook, on TikTok, correct? You're out there too.
Pretty much everywhere. My username is SL Rowland Author, and my website is slrowland.com. So, yep.
And that's it. Guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for sitting on both of us, on both the interviews, Wilkie and Dennis. And I think you're the two main ones who came on over. This will be up on the YouTube website, so we'll be able to get everyone to look at it who hasn't been able to be here. I will do some shorts, hopefully, and get those up on YouTube as well, and maybe over to TikTok and all that fun stuff. I still have learning to do on that kind of editing stuff. So, Steve, thank you so much. Everyone have a great night. I'm tired. This is good, but I love it. I can't help it. So now we're going to do this. It's two buttons.